Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Oh, this is so exciting.
I know. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, of course. I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. Mendy, right?
Mende.
Mende.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, hi, Mende. I'm Jasmine. I'm a reporter at PackTV, and so I'm just very happy that you're coming on and allowing us to interview you and get to know you.
Of course. I love getting rugby out there, not a very big sport. So love pushing our, hopefully get us kind of popular with campus and maybe some people coming out to games more.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just dive right into it. I was gonna ask, my first question is how did you get into rugby?
All right. So I played 5 sports through high school, mainly football and baseball, and then came to college. Didn't play anything freshman year. Played a bit of intramural sports, loved it, but it wasn't very competitive. Like it was very competitive, but it wasn't like the drive what I needed.
Right.
So my boy Joe Piscopio, I've said this millions of times. Um, my dog, he we played intramural flag together, and he was like, "Dude, you're athletic. Come out and play." And so my sophomore year, went out and played and loved it.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I mean, I know Pac TV, we cover games, and I've been to a couple, and it's physical out there. I think, and it's so entertaining. I think we should, our goal here at Pac TV is to provide extra exposure. So, um, that's awesome. It's a good way to get involved with campus
Oh
and
yeah.
kind of keeping in shape too, because I know you said you played baseball and football. But it's just a good way to kind of get involved and you meet people and things like that.
Yeah, oh yes. Oh yeah. Like I'm still really close with a lot of the guys from past years. Joe being one of them. I gotta shout out my boys Tom and Jack Kiernan.
Go ahead.
That honestly, like they're kind of like brothers to me. Everybody on the team's like brothers to me, but they really did a lot in like coaching me on the side. Like we thankfully we have a volunteer coach who does a lot for us, but those two are really like those. I'd say 3 were good mentors for me and teaching me the game because had a lot of talent but didn't have the IQ like I did in other sports. So it's good to have those guys, and it's really just a big family.
Yeah, and you spoke about IQ. Now, what is the difference? How is it making that shift from football to rugby?
So it's on. So when someone asks me like what's rugby, they're automatically like, oh, it's got to be something like football without pads. And I'm like, the running's pretty similar, and so is the ball shape, but it's honestly more like soccer or I don't soccer maybe just because it's a free flowing game. It's
Right.
hard to it's very different to football. We go the entire time. It's 2 80-minute halves, so we don't stop in between plays. When the ball goes out of bounds, it's a turnover. It's not just the end of a play. So it was a big difference. I will say that my background in a lot of other sports really helped to help me transition, kind of pick and choose parts of my other sports that helped me to pick this up quicker, just mostly so I could be a big help to the team. Like all I want to do was win, and I was happy I was able to help fill a role.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's big, the shift you made. And you talk about your ability to kind of pick it up and then having a past of a sports background helped. I mean, I I did my research and you made the 2019 all conference team. I mean,
Tried my best.
that says a lot, and I do want to talk about how COVID-19 has cut cut the season short, and you guys were qualified for nationals. You guys won, I believe, the 2019 collegiate sevens, and
Yes.
then the
So
20 yeah.
So the last school year, we actually won nationals in both 15s and sevens. So the distinction is, so sevens is like the Olympic style kind of. It's a lot quicker paced. It's tournament style, kind of like soccer does pools.
Right.
It's like that. And then 15s is the more, like the more. It's the original game, union rules, 15 on 15. The kind of looks like football. But yeah, so that's kind of the difference between the two. And So in the fall of last school year,
Right.
we won the Division II national championship, and then in the spring we won the Division II sevens national championship, and it was really cool, especially for I would definitely say that group of seniors that year. They had done so much for our club in taking us from what we were to how we are now, and
Mm-hmm.
more like back 5-10 years in the past, we were more of a social club, like that, like playing
Mm-hmm.
rugby. But they really did a lot for this club to be a just honestly a really good club, like a really good rugby team, and they really were forerunners for the success we have now. And so this last fall, we moved up a division from Division II, Division 1, D1 AA, which I
Yep.
guess like the middle one. There's D1A, which is all the scholarship schools, and we qualified for the nationals, made a bit of a run. We lost in the quarterfinals to St. Joseph's, a very, very good team. Sadly, we had a couple of injuries going into the game, but both teams played heck of a game, and they came out on top, so props to them. About COVID, so we were in the middle of our seventh season in the spring when it hit. We were playing really well, honestly. We had played in 2 tournaments, had won them both, and COVID hit, and sadly we had a forfeit. Well, in the rest of our season.
Yeah. And I can't imagine how hard that is, because I feel like there was a lot of talk. It came at a very interesting time. I mean, I know for basketball, NCAA was kind of getting ready to start March Madness. And then we did find out that, spring sports like baseball and softball, they get an extra year, but that's not the same for you guys. And I did believe I saw NCSU 20 in your bio. So, how does that affect you, moving forward?
So it definitely hurt. Between sevens and 15s, I love 15s, but my position is wing, and basically my job is to score. Um, for being honest, but sevens I liked a lot because I was more involved in like the intricacies of the game.
Right.
And actually, so I am still state 20, but I have an extra semester, so I'll be out in December. So luckily I have an extra semester of 15. So
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to that. I hate that we lost our seventh season, especially with how well we were playing.
Yeah.
And I hate it for the couple other seniors that were on the team. My boys Brandon Corkery, Jordan Dalton. Actually, I think Jordan might be staying around too, but Cameron Strapp and a couple other guys. But but I saw a couple of comments that made me laugh.
Yeah. It's okay.
The coronavirus is kind of gnarly, so we're gonna keep
No,
laughing.
it's getting everybody. No one can get a fresh cut. We know
Yeah.
how crucial that is. We know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just it's such a weird time. And I think everyone can speak on that. But that's it's very fortunate that you do get an extra semester and you do get to kind of finish out, playing rugby your final semester at NC State. Now I'm going to shift gears a little bit. So when it comes to training, I know that all on-campus activities were cut short. So how did that affect kind of in-season workouts or training? How are you staying in shape? How are you kind of working to get better in this time when gyms and, things were closed?
So it did kind of suck because we did a lot of during season. We practiced twice a week. We kind of left the fitness and that kind of thing to like the individual. Like if you want to win, if you want to do well, you're gonna have to do this. We don't have enough time to do it in practice. We have to practice as much as we can because we're only allowed 2 days a week. But now it's kind of just up to us. I've been a little lazy recently, but thankfully my friend another guy got to play. He's my age as well, Mo Eliaman. He works out. We work out together a bit, and he can light a fire under my butt to get to get out there and do some push-ups, go run, play a little soccer, all that. So it's always been up to the individual. Some of the older guys will always get together and be like, hey, let's go to the gym, let's go do a run. But now it's really needed now for us to do it by ourselves.
And moving forward, it seems like it's it already was a team sport, but I guess it's kind of having the right people on the team. Can you kind of speak on how senior leadership has played a huge part in your recent success?
Yeah, so we lost a big senior class last year, and there's a few of us this year. But what was cool about the couple of seniors we had this year, um, like me, Brandon, and a few others, we there weren't many of us, but we were all played pretty key roles, and we brought a bit of experience to the team. And but under us, we have a really big junior class, and a lot of them come from playing rugby all the way through high school and middle school, so they bring a lot of experience with it with that. So it's nice having both kinds of sides of that. But yeah, the I would say we have to really we're gonna have to look into recruiting whenever we get back on campus, because in North Carolina there isn't much rugby, and we're just gonna have to use the guys that we have to get more people.
Yeah, no, yeah, I definitely can see
Hmm.
that. Um, I did want, I think there was one, you said something and it made me, I had a question, but I totally forgot. But
I will say on I'm sorry,
no,
but
you go ahead.
with experience, what we are lucky with is we have, because NC State's such a big school, we get a lot of international students that come in, and rugby is a huge sport overseas, especially Europe and like Australia and places like that. So we're really lucky that we'll usually get 2, 3, 4 guys that come from England or Australia that are really good for us. Last year we had um, that really played. We had 4 guys that really played for us last school year. One was English, and 3 were Irish, and they're very good for us. And then this year we had 2 English guys, actually, and an Irish. And our guys, Pete, love Pete, little jokester of the team. Played all right. He was in our forwards, and then we had our boy Michael Abramsay. Love him. He went back to Leeds. Sadly, he didn't get to finish the 7th season with us. Another great player. And then we have our guy Jack Roche, and he sadly got hurt in the middle of 15, so he didn't get to play too much. But that's another cool. That's also another one of the parts I like about the sport, because I get to meet so many guys from overseas with different backgrounds and just upbringings, and it's another thing to add to the family.
Yeah, I think I do remember. I know they graduated, but it was 2 brothers. They were twins,
Yes,
maybe.
Jack and Tom. So they
Yes, yes.
they're Irish, but they actually they graduated high school in the States. So they graduated high school in Raleigh, like they were here for their junior and senior year. But again, like uh European Irish talent, and it brings a lot of experience to the team. So it helps a lot.
Yeah, because I do remember just covering a couple games last year, the year before, and they're so
All over
dedicated
the place.
to it. Yeah, so dedicated to it, and I think that does kind of speak for the team's success and how involved you guys were and how you guys always had something going on, and you guys came to compete. I know
Yes.
that's for sure, and um, that's just I think that's good leadership. And I think too, with you being there and having another semester, I think that would be good, to bring in some more guys too.
Mhm.
Now, how was the shift from going from D2 to D1 AA? Did you guys see a difference in the play?
So it was there's definitely a difference. I would say the difference came from, so on the level of when we were playing in D2, most of our games are kind of blowouts. Towards honestly, towards the once we got to our national championship, so like the top, I'd say from the quarterfinals on they were all very close games except for the finals. We played very well and happened to like win by a very significant margin. But quarterfinals on, they're very good teams. Moving to D1 AA, it really seemed that the talent was more on that level. It wasn't we couldn't compete, but it was a lot nicer to be. It's not like every game you're like, oh, if we just play 80% of what we could do, we're gonna blow them out. So it really had to keep us on top of our game, and really try and work on our just work on our team chemistry and build that back from past years after losing a lot of people. So, but honestly, I personally feel that the athletic difference between the players wasn't too different. I feel it was you're playing against a lot more guys who have played for long periods of time and know the game.
Yeah, you said a blowout. I remember when I was trying to just, study you and figure out a little bit more information about you. I was on your Instagram, and I think you guys blew out a team, and you said it looked like a Madden score. Something like, something like that. I was like, yeah, these guys are good. These guys are good.
I mean, we come out to play, and if you can't play with us, sorry, but I mean, but if y'all beat us, we're gonna give it all I got. So.
Yeah, no, that's great. And with practice, how are you guys kind of working to build that team chemistry now that you guys can't really practice? Like, are you guys, Zoom? I know Zoom is popular in this time. Or, do you guys have a group chat? Like, what do you guys got going on?
We have a couple group chats, group snaps, group me's. Honestly though, with like training and like talking rugby, some of us will kind of sneak off and text each other. But over the summer, we really give ourselves really a time to let go for a minute, not think about rugby. But the second the school year starts, even the weeks before, the officers, we're meeting with coach, we're getting back in groove. But thankfully, there's a lot of summer clubs and summer clubs and sevens teams and stuff to play, especially in bigger cities. So thankfully, this summer I'll be in Charlotte, and I'm hoping if this COVID clears up, I'll be able to pick back up and play some towards the second half of the summer to get in shape. But I know a lot of guys do that, so it's nice to play with other people and develop other skills that you might not have been able to during the year.
Yeah, I remember in high school I had a job, and there was a guy who attended UNCW, and he was on the rugby team, and he would just be so beat up. And I remember my boss and I would be like, what are you doing during the week? Like, and he told us it was rugby. So I do feel like the sport is growing. Do you know of how I guess the organization overall? I know you guys on that site I was at, you guys have a lot of kind of sponsorship. How are they working to kind of increase the interest of rugby?
Honestly, it's really just trying to get the name out there. I mean, I don't think rugby will ever beat football, but I will say with so many people afraid of concussions, I think that's a really good place to insert rugby, because everybody thinks, oh, you're playing without pads, it's got to be worse for you. But the way that safety is more intertwined into the game, I definitely took way harder hits in football. I thankfully, knock on wood, I never had a concussion or any head injuries playing football, and I haven't played in rugby. But you really don't see them as much. Like, everyone gets ankle injuries, but that happens in every sport. It's ankles, knees, that kind of thing. But I genuinely think rugby is a safer sport due to less head-on-head contact. When you're tackling someone, you have to go down with them. You can't just kind of like lay into them like people see in football, like someone coming across the middle and bam, they're out for 3 days. So I think that's a really good spot for rugby to be kind of put in. What I was really hoping for is currently the U.S. Sevens national team is a top 10 sevens team in the world. Last year, they actually finished 7 in the 7 series circuit. But what I was really hoping for was whenever we have the Olympics, sevens just got added back to the Olympics. And hoping we can do really well, that could really boost some type of popularity. People are like, oh, it's so fast-paced, because it's literally 2 7-minute halves, 7-on-7 on a full-size field. So it's just running around, people making plays. It's really, really fun to watch.
Yeah. And so you spoke about that national team. What kind of goals have you set for yourself, moving forward? Is that something you would like to see?
It'd be really cool. I don't know if I have national team material, but I definitely would love to try out for a MLR team, or because we have the men's league rugby or whatever the US is, and I would definitely love to give it a shot. Like, I think I have what it takes. Got to get a little bigger, but it's all there. I talked to my coach about it some, but there's honestly a few guys on our team that definitely have They definitely have what it takes to at least play in the MLR. So we compete against each other a lot, and we'll see where it takes us. But it'd be really cool. Like that'd definitely be a goal of mine if I could reach it. If the opportunity came knocking, I would take it.
And you say you talk to your coach, about things like that. And again, you've really talked about, teammates and competing. What personal goals have you set for your last semester? I know things are uncertain right now, but, when that time comes, any, season goals you've set for yourself?
Yeah, so definitely 100% would love to get back to national championship. We definitely, I'd love to be the leading try scorer again. What else we got? Really, I just like to win. So honestly, any of those goals, I'd be okay with not getting any of them if we went back to that night to the national championship match. This year we actually added 4 teams and lost 1 to the conference, so we are currently at like 9 or 10 teams in our conference, and there's some very good teams that got added. When we were in D2, Queens University in Charlotte, they were in our conference with us, and this past semester in 15s, they won D2 the year after we won it, and they just moved up to our conference. A couple others, the only team they lost to moved up into our conference, and a team from D1 single A, which is higher than us, dropped into our conference. So there's gonna be a lot of competition. So I think if we can make it out, we'll have a lot of experience with really good teams to maybe make a run. But I would love to make that. I would love to make that national championship match again.
And so as we're wrapping up here, one of my last questions for you is kind of what is one of your, I guess, best moments with the NC State rugby team?
All right, I have 2.
Okay, we'll love to hear it.
2. So the first one was winning nationals my junior year, because it was really cool, because it was really like the culmination of all of our hard work coming together, and we ended up winning against, they were 2-time defending national champions, Whitewater, Wisconsin, and we beat them 55-7. And I think I had the second try of that game. It was a cool try. They knocked it on and kicked it, went right to me. I just ran by everybody. And then the other one is the semifinals of Sevens Nationals, and we were down, I think it was 15-0 with 2 minutes left in the game, and we came back and won 19-15. And it was really cool. It was a really cool moment because I had played every minute, every game. I was tired. Our team was tired, but I think it really showed that Wolfpack spirit that everyone at State has. Just, we're going to go down. We might get down, but we're never going to give up. We're going to give everything we have, and what happens, happens. And thankfully that time we came out on top.
And, my last question for you is kind of what is some of the takeaways? It could be life lessons. It could be, relationships that you will take with you moving forward.
Honestly, I think from sports are some of the best things to give life lessons we have. I mean, I'm sure you seem like some kind of athlete, but I'm sure with PackTV and everything. But really, just hard work, never give up, give everything you have. Just keep at it, and everything will be okay in the end.
I'm reading the comments.
Yeah, they love it. Yeah, I'd say I have a big family. All of my siblings, athletes. We love picking at each other. Brother's out in Portland, so he gets to, whenever he has a chance, he's gonna make fun of me. Sorry. Then I have twin younger sisters. Both of them are athletes. One of them's about to play soccer at Shaw next year. The other one is on Elon's track and field team. So it's kind of what we always did. Sports has always been massive in my family, and then always close with my brothers and sisters and their friends and my friends, and so I can see them making fun of me, but it's okay because I'm the one getting interviewed and they're not.
Yeah, there you go. No, yeah, and I see where that competition comes from with your siblings. I have an older brother and a younger brother.
Okay.
And we're so competitive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even board games were competitive. It's just the nature of siblings and how that goes.
You should
Well,
see. I was gonna say you should see me and my close friends our Monopoly matches.
my youngest brother loves Monopoly. I actually got him this collection, like wood boarded 100. I think I got it for $100. Normally they sell for like 250, and it's like a collector's Monopoly. It has like velvet,
I need
like,
to play that.
you need to. I feel like, it made me a better Monopoly player because I always go to jail every single time, and I cannot pass
In
go
game, here's where you want to be.
right, and I cannot collect my $200. So I got to get better. So, but yeah, thank you for your time with us. Do you want to, I know we have some people in the live, I don't know who, but do you kind of want to talk about quickly, like, your Twitter, your rugby Twitter, so they can find out more information.
Yeah. So we have it's at NC State Men's Club Rugby. 100% follow that. We're actually we'll be posting a highlight video from the last season soon. So we're gonna get that on. If you don't already follow me at Mendele98, at Mende Carlton on Twitter.
Yeah, shout yourself out.
Got to. The rugby team doesn't have a Twitter account. Trying to think what else is there. Yeah, that's about it.
Perfect. Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you for talking with us. And I guess
you.
good luck your last semester. That is awesome. And I know PackTV will be covering some games. So definitely everyone else follow along with PackTV. We provide live video broadcasts of all games. And yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Go Pack.
Go Pack. Thank you guys.